is Milton, Freewater, where Joseph and Tracy, Jay, Kaya, and Ellie live. This is supposed to say Brookside Townhouses. They have been here since March of 2020. Right now it's July 27th of 2020. So we're looking at the entrance here, and there's Tracy's Rogue there in the carport where they live. And as you drive in, if you go to the left of the parking lot, there's this great little wooden bridge. It's a private drive that leads back to someone's house, but anyone can walk on the bridge and see the gorgeous rushing Walla Walla River. So here's a photo of the Walla Walla River coming from upstream. Yes, I saw people tubing on this river the other day, but not this portion because we are below the fish weir. And that is where nobody can tube. There's a view of the house at the end of the private drive. Beyond that, you can see one of the mountains surrounding Milton Freewater. I'm looking across to the downstream side of the Walla Walla River. Ellie and I spent a few moments here on a couple of occasions, calming ourselves down. There's a cool breeze floating through the air. The water sounds absolutely beautiful and musical, and it's cold. I touched it yesterday. Above the river hangs limbs of various trees. Here's an interesting one. Red berries are hanging from the foliage there. Just gorgeous. This is one of the most relaxing spots, and it's just steps away from the townhome. I'd love to hear that outside my window at night if I slept. There's a view back up the road. And the mountain beyond. Another mountain that surrounds Milton Freewater. So here is the green space at the very end of Joseph and Tracy's townhome complex. It was in this nice green field that Jay and I shot each other with Nerf guns, and Jay and Kaya and I blew on dandelion seeds. Blowing? Can you blow your flower? Blow hard like a birthday candle. There you go. Okay, turn it around and blow some more. There you go. Hey, Kaya figured it out. Look at you. Did you get some of your nose? Did it tickle? There you go. Hey, Jay, can you blow yours some more? Kaya figured hers out. Yeah, there you go. Huh? Ah. And at the very back of this green space is the fish weir. You can also access it by going all the way around. I think you have to walk about a mile to get around several blocks to get to it from the other side. It's fenced off, of course, from the green space side. You can hear the water rushing through the canals that separate the fish weir from the rest of the river. Kaya enjoyed pretending that Brookside townhomes are at a dead end of Southeast 8th Avenue. Here's the corner where you turn in to go down to the townhome, South Mill Street. Joseph and Tracy live about 2 blocks off of the main drag there in Milton, Freewater. There's some really cool architectural features of the houses here on one of the more main streets in Milton, Freewater. Cottage type homes that have square box-like windows. And as you can see, some pretty unusual colors. This is South Main Street, and we're facing the library. During the summer, of course here in 2020, the library's been closed due to COVID, but Tracy and the kids would go up for a short reading program every Thursday morning. This is South Main Street. Closer view of the library here. Came up here to show you some of the most amazing views of Milton, Freewater, and the surrounding area. When I was here in March and early April, I got a really good shot of all this scenery at sunset. You can see the mountains in the distance, and I'm nearly at the top of one of the mountains now, one of the westward mountains. You can see there's the peak up there, there's the water tower, so there's your 360. So way out beyond, this high desert area, they just go up and up and up. You can see the windmills or orchards planted at varying elevations. When you look down, you can see the little town of Milton, Freewater. I'm about 3 or 4 blocks up from Main Street. It was a steady uphill climb. Had to rest for a while and get my breath back before I could take this video. Just gorgeous, all times of the year. So this is a tree I have seen growing in Milton, Freewater, and I have not seen it elsewhere. But it's really, really interesting. I do not know what the orange things are cascading from the dark green foliage, but it's beautiful. So the landmarks of Milton Freewater. This building is probably about 5 stories high. It's a grain elevator. On the front of it, we see the old letters that say Milton Elevator Company and a sign advertising the Fraser Museum, which we'll get to in a little bit. But this part of the building is the front side, and it's the short side. We have some grain spouts over here, and then the back of the building, which is about 2 stories higher than the front here. Here's the back side of that same structure. It is easily the tallest building in Milton Freewater, and I think it's standing on ground that used to be Old Town Milton, because Old Town Freewater is up the road a ways. These 2 towns were combined to make one. So if you're looking down the street, off in the distance, here we are upstream from where Joseph and Tracy live, at a bridge that goes across another portion of the Walla Walla River. This is the portion where I saw some tubers tubing down. And it faces one of those those mountains that runs east-west through the Walla Walla River Valley. So down this gravel road, and the gravel road directly across the street, and 2 other gravel roads that flank the river on the other side are bicycle paths. They back up to properties of the owners. The owners can use them, but they're supposed to be inaccessible to general traffic. The sign on that grain elevator talking about Fraser Museum? Well, we're back here at it. A moment ago, I showed you a picture of this barn right here. This is the back side of it. We saw the front side a moment ago. Other farm tools and implements are in the yard. Outbuildings, etc. And as you walk down the street, you get a really good view of the sign telling us about the Fraser Farmstead. Apparently, the Fraser Farm was established in 1868, possibly as one of the main features of the little town of Milton. Right next to the sign is what I believe to be the carriage house, maybe originally. Because as we look back and forth, this would have been the main house. And this has been turned into the Fraser Farmstead Museum. Again, settled in 1868. Very well kept building. Very well kept grounds. By whom? I really don't know. Impressive structure. And reflective of a lot of the other architecture we see in the little town of Milton Freewater. Directly across the street, we have a great view. just come from one of those gravel walking paths along the Walla Walla River, and I am still upstream of Joseph and Tracy's Brookside townhomes, coming up to this bridge which separates the water into a fish weir. Under that bridge, the water goes one of two ways. One continues down the Walla Walla River unobstructed, and one goes through a set of canals that I mentioned earlier. That is the fish weir. Across the street is the local elementary school and some ball fields. You can see them being watered, because nothing out here would be green in the summertime except that it gets irrigated. Beyond that, you can see the mountain range. That school's last name is Olinger Elementary School. Joseph and Tracy thought perhaps Jay would go to if they were here long enough. We shall see. Here's a closer look at the fish weir that backs up to the green space at the back of Joseph and Tracy's Brookside townhomes over there. In order to get back, I'll have to walk around several blocks. This is the bridge over the Walla Walla River. If I were to continue on this road, it would take me up one of those mountain roads like Joseph likes to ride his bike over. I'd have to go through somebody else's block.